The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. The Health Department logs more than 16,600 new cases of COVID-19. This brings the country's total caseload to closer to 1.82 million, with active cases inching closer to 124,000. Meanwhile, 398 patients died of the infection, the highest in over 4 months. The country's death toll remains at 31,500. Some 15,800 patients recovered from the disease, bringing total recoveries to 1.66 million. The DOH also reported that among some 65,000 people who got tested of COVID-19 last Thursday, over a quarter, or 25.2%, were positive of the virus. The Office of the Vice President and the City Government of Pasig joined forces to vaccinate individuals under the A5 category. The OVP's Vaccine Express initiative in Pasig runs at Mangahan High School from Saturday, August 21 to Sunday, August 22. All vaccinees are pre-registered within the city. They will receive the first dose of the vaccine provided by the LGU in a post-vaccination care kit from the OVP. Vice President Lenny Robredo and Pasig City Mayor Vico Soto visited the site to personally check on the vaccination process and to thank doctors, nurses, and medical students who volunteered for the initiative. Now, some private hospitals are set on disengaging from Philhealth following the agency's circular on the suspension of claim payments. In an interview with One News, the chiefs, Dr. Jose De Grano, president of the Private Hospitals Association, said the circular gave, quote, very general policies concerning the suspension of the reimbursements. Recall that the group told a House committee hearing this week that unpaid hospital claims have piled up to 86 billion pesos. De Grano said private hospitals are very apprehensive to engage with Philhealth because of the guidelines. The state health insurer said the circular was issued in the spirit of proper fund management and fraud control.
The claims that we are trying to reimburse will be placed on this category, supposedly fraudulent, and then it will all be frozen. You know, they will not pay you. Even your past dues, past claims, the present claims, and your future claims will be suspended. So that's the reason why they were very apprehensive.
Some health workers say they feel demoralized after hearing the Commission on Audit's report on the health department's supposed spending deficiencies. Jen Tilimon with the story.
It's already past midnight, but healthcare workers at San Lazaro Hospital were still providing assistance to patients at the triage. They said this is their devotion. During each breaks, they were seen sharing light moments as if they don't face any challenges. Nurse Jamie De Guzman contracted the virus in March this year and got sick for more than a month. But she did not receive her supposed 15,000 pesos compensation for a moderate case.
A week after June 7, pumunta ako doon, sinabi na cut off na nung June 7. Ano po yung sinabi nyo pagka yung nagka-COVID? In line of duty naman ito, tapos may compensation kang 15,000 ka. Tapos sabihin na biglang
De Guzman also lamented that her special risk allowance starting December 2020 was only given last month. What's even worse is that she received only half of its 30,000 pesos expected SRA. But for her, she was still fortunate because many of her colleagues did not get their allowances at all.
And ayun ma'am yung pinakamasakit eh. Diniprive ka na, and in order for you to really get that benefit, any benefit, you have to fight for it. Kailangan i-struggle. Hindi ba pwedeng it should be given freely?
De Guzman admitted that they felt more demoralized when they heard about the report of the Commission on Audit. Recall that the state auditors flagged the health department for its deficiencies in the use of some 67 billion pesos.
You feel na nakawang ka ng dapat para sa'yo. So imbes na these little things, these benefits are supposed to boost the morale kasi nga hailed as heroes, di ba? Very thankful, pero we don't really feel it from the government.
But despite the lack of sleep, support, and time for their families, she chose to continue on her duty.
Everybody is still fighting. Yun yung sabi ko let's not allow other people to put out our fire. We have to keep fighting. Kasi hindi pa tayo tapos.
De Guzman called on the government to give the benefits they deserve as frontliners. Reporting for News 5, Jen Calimon, we are One News.
President Duterte is once again backing Health Secretary Francisco Duque despite mounting criticisms and calls for his resignation. JC Cosico has the report.
The health department has been facing heavy criticisms over its supposed deficiencies in the handling of pandemic funds, as flagged by the Commission on Audit. Despite this, President Rodrigo Duterte doesn't see any reason to fire Health Chief Francisco Duque III. Duterte said he would be doing a great injustice if he fired Duque, as the latter would be dogged by insinuations of corruption for the rest of his life.
You want to ask him, for what? Ano ba ang nagawa niya na kasamaan? I'm sorry, but I said, baski mag-isa na lang ako, I will stand for Duque, even if it will bring me down.
Duterte also denied defending the DOH, saying he was just sharing his opinion. On the COA reports, Duterte said he understands that these are part of the agency's mandate, but he explained the reports must be reconfigured and that COA must clarify that there is no corruption involved.
Alam ko walang mali siya. You are just doing your duty. But in making the report, kindly reconfigure everything. And sabihin sa una, at the first instance, pag ma-interview ka, sabihin mo na kaagad, there is no corruption here because there is no money involved.
Duterte also asked COA to give agencies sufficient time to answer the findings, as the public would immediately perceive it as corruption. The president noted that due to the pandemic, government agencies are implementing a skeletal workforce. This for him is the reason why documentation that auditors request takes time.
They are fighting a war against an enemy na hindi natin nakikita. Give them an enough elbow room to move.
Aside from this, Duterte ordered Duque to pay health workers who are still waiting to receive their benefits.
Yung nagrereklamo yung frontliners about their allowances, about whatever, pati itong volunteers na magbakuna. This an order, Secretary Duque. Bayaran mo. Use whatever money there is.
The budget department has been given 10 days to release the funds.
Wala kayong personnel, borrow from other agencies or from saan. Pagkuha kayo ng mga empleyado, maghiraman ninyo yung tagakuha para bigay mo yung pera kay Secretary Duque tapos bayaran niya.
Duterte expressed willingness to use his office's contingency funds to expedite the release of their benefits. For News 5, JC Cosico, we are One News.
Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. Most of the 80 OFWs in Kabul have left Afghanistan and are now safe in different countries waiting for repatriation. In a report to migration consultant Emmanuel Gislani, about 60 Filipinos have been accounted for as of August 21st. Of the said figure, 30 have flown into Islamabad by the Philippine Embassy in Pakistan. Now, at least 18 OFWs went to different cities in the United Kingdom, while 8 OFWs are staying at a U.S. facility in Doha, Qatar, and 5 were reported to have fled to Indonesia and Armenia. Taal volcano's main crater, meanwhile, showed vigorous upwelling that generated steam-rich plumes around 3,000 meters high earlier today. PHAP said the volcanic smog has been experienced over the Taal region this week. This as high levels of volcanic sulfur dioxide have been continually degassed from the main crater. Taal volcano remains under alert level 2, which warns of a probable magmatic activity that may or may not lead to an eruption. And Manny Pacquiao and Ugas both made the required weight during their weigh-in a day before their scheduled bout in Las Vegas, Nevada. Pacquiao weighed in at 146 pounds, while WBA welterweight champ Ugas tipped scales right on the number at 147 pounds. Pacquiao is set to return to the ring after a 2-year absence as he looks to regain the WBA welterweight belt that was stripped off him. Now, for more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now at www.signalplay.com and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.